What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Cowboys Cutting Up. I am one of your hosts, Jay Stoggs, the Buff Nerd. Let's go. And of course, I am joined by Trey Collis, the voice of the Antlers, and doing all kinds of basketball stuff and arguing with people because that's what he does. And
That's true. Very much true. Very much
man,
true.
how you doing?
Man, I hit you up earlier this week. I was like, man, I kind of want to do a show. I was like, man, it's Thanksgiving week. I'm ready to drink some beers.
There you go.
But then the Cowboys go and do what they did, man. And then, man, it's just a lot to get into. But man, I worked all week. I worked half a day today. Finally, 4 days off. But after being home with my daughter for 3 hours, I'm like, this is gonna be a long 4 days. That's all I could say. But man, I'm thankful for another year. Thankful to be celebrating another year. Thankful for a lot of other things. Thankful to talk sports with Jay Buff Nerd over here because even though he's wrong on half the topics we talk about, but
I'm not wrong, man.
But I just like to know. Really? Because who's apologizing today?
Today that would be me. This is going to be the apology episode. I will be apologizing today. So make sure that you like, subscribe, and smash that bell so you can see when I have to apologize again. And it's rare, but sometimes I have to do it. It's rare, but yeah. So that's definitely it. Again, you can check us out on Amazon, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, also anywhere that you listen to your favorite podcast. Hit us up. And let us know what's going on. We'll be rebranding here. You'll see we have Big Game Entertainment. Very excited about that. We're going to be bringing more content to you here in the next few weeks. I'm very excited about what's about to happen. It's really going down. So make sure that, again, that you like, subscribe, and you smash that bell for the notifications to know what we have coming up. And, of course, comment. We always love to read what you got going on and, Trey likes to tell you when you're wrong, and I'll kind of back him up on it. But yeah, he'll tell you that. But yeah, man. So let's jump into this. Last week, the Dallas Cowboys put a 40 burger on those Minnesota Vikings. Let me just go ahead and start. Look, I need to apologize. I thought, because of the Green Bay game, which I called, I said they were going to lose. I thought they were going to lose to Minnesota because of okay, and they did not. They showed they were amazing. Actually, it was a balanced offense. The defense, oh my gosh, they showed out. Micah Parsons again shows why he should be the defensive player of the year. And everything just worked. Justin Jefferson they shut him down. And then Cook, because they shut him down, they shut down Cook, and Kirk Cousins was just running for his life. So my apologies to the Dallas Cowboys. And look, I am a fan, okay? I am a faithful don't do that, Trey. I'm
just listening. I'm just listening.
It was a look you gave, bro. Like,
you are my wife, man. I'm just listening. I'm just listening.
Are you a faithful fan? Yeah. So y'all might check my background's a little bit. I had to leave Texas because of what happened in Minnesota. No, I'm just joking. I'm up here visiting, Miami Lions, KC. But yeah, so that's my apology, man. I'm sorry. I apologize, Trey. You were correct. Oh, that's hard. That just tastes bad coming out of my mouth.
I didn't hear that.
You heard it. I'm not going to say it again. I apologize, okay? You were right. Gosh.
Oh, man. No, I was right to an extent. I didn't think it was going to be that big of a blowout. I thought it was going to come down to a lot because you know how Cowboy games are, right? Like they always – like I didn't feel comfortable until the fourth quarter.
Right.
Like I seriously didn't feel comfortable until the fourth quarter. But no, man. But man, that Dallas defense. Hey, people say, what makes this Cowboy team different than previous Dallas Cowboys team? Well, because in the past, like after a Green Bay loss, like the last week that we had, you hear every year we hear the talk, oh, we got to be better, we got to be better, this and that. This time you heard it, but you can hear it a little bit differently in my voice, and you can hear like the Dallas defense felt like they let the team down, and they were going to come out with the guns blazing, and they did. It started with Michael Parsons on that third down sack fumble. And I'm still mad that the offense only got a field goal out of that because I feel like we got 50 points if that didn't happen. But that I think that's the difference with this team. Like, and say what you want to about Mike McCarthy and about his coach, like his timeout adjustments, his stuff. The guy can coach, guys. The guy he can coach.
He can coach. He just can't manage time.
No, but he's gotten a lot better this year, I'll tell you that. But
gosh, but I mean, what is this, like 14th year or something in the league?
Well, yeah, he's had issues with that all the way to Green Bay because remember Aaron Rodgers had to correct him on a couple like penalties to accept and not accept and wasn't to use a timeout and stuff. That's always been an issue of his. But put that aside, and it's probably going to come back and hurt us probably in the playoffs again, but whatever the case may be.
Again, yeah.
But when's the last time that the Cowboys had back-to-back good winning seasons? Jason Garrett never did it. Like we win the division, then we go down and we only win 4 games. Like we actually have a chance to go. It's a small chance. I know some people like RJ Ochoa, if you're watching. I love you, brother, but I think you're way optimistic on this one here, saying that the Cowboys have a clear path to the number 1 seed and the NFC East. I don't see that. I have to see the Eagles another loss, and I got to get through this Thanksgiving game first. We'll get to that in a little bit. But that's what I just think that Michael Parsons being on this team, that guy backs up what he says. That guy, I'm not comparing him to Michael Jordan, but I'm comparing him to his mentality is like Michael and Kobe, where he's not going to have back-to-back bad games. He's not going to, and he hears what, and it fuels him. It fuels Michael Parsons and that defense. Trayvon Diggs, he's not a one-sided corner. He'll go over. He covered Justin Jefferson all game long. And he asked the coaches, I'm going with Jefferson. I want Jefferson. 3 catches for 33 yards, not too bad. This is the guy who has 6 100-yard games already this year. I'm just saying. The Dallas run D set the tone early in the first and second downs where they've made them be a third down pass rushing team. We see what we can do. This team is just different, man. It is. I say this every year, but I truly do feel like this. I feel like this is, and I've been saying this all the way, like this is, if not this year, then when? Because all the teams are down this year.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. In that, to me, this seems like the best year to do it, especially with contracts that'll be up at the end of this year and who you would want to keep, who you don't want to keep, dead money, things like that. I think this is the best time to do it. But, looking at that team and talking about Michael Parsons, I mean, gosh, that guy – and I think the reason why it feels different is because of him. Is you have a person on the defensive side that's saying, "Hey, this is different."
Let me interrupt you real quick. Is it just him, or is it Dan Quinn with him? Like we haven't had a defensive coach. If it was just Michael Parsons with Rob Marinelli, it wouldn't be the same. I don't think that's just me. Like Dan Quinn challenges Michael Parsons. Michael Parsons wants to be challenged.
But I think but you still have to have a great player. I mean, we thought Tank Lawrence, and he's a good player, but he's not Michael Parsons' player. No. He's not Defensive Player of the Year player. No. And we put him in that stratosphere to say, well, he's going to be our Defensive Player of the Year type player or caliber player, but he's not. Michael Parsons is. So I think it's a little bit of both. It's kind of like that Tom Brady, Bill Belichick thing, right? Who's really the one who's pulling the strings here? Is it the player? Is it the coach? I think, again, to your point, you have both, and it makes both of them great. But, yeah, I think with Micah Parsons and what he's been able to say and then do, especially the do part, that's what makes this really believable in saying, hey, is this a Super Bowl caliber team? Last week, it would have been, oh, absolutely not. This week, I mean, you beat an 8-1 team, and some can say, well, they're a fluke or, they really didn't do well, or they didn't play anybody. What's up, Big Game? Good to see you, man. Appreciate you and your work, man. Intros, outros are amazing. Make sure you check out Big Game Sports was on Tuesdays, 8 p.m. right here on Big Game Entertainment, and Pew Perspective as well. My guy Big Game is doing it. He's on lots of stuff, so make sure that you check him out when you can. But yeah, man, I'm it does feel different this year. It does feel different this year. A stat that I throw out, and I threw out, no, Vikings were not
Here we go. Here we go.
You knew he was going to come with this
man.
trash. Vikings were not fakes, man.
Oh my! Oh, when the Eagles beat them. Oh, the Eagles are real class. They demolished them 24-3. Right. Oh, 24-7. Oh, I was like, hold my beer. Let me do 40-3 against the one in their house. In their house. We didn't do it in our home. We did it in their house.
We went up to Minnesota and we beat them there. And yeah, we beat them on their turf. Vikings are not fake, man. You can't say they're fake. You play who's in front of you. So.
Well, they're not fake because they beat the good teams. They beat Buffalo.
They beat Buffalo.
And they didn't beat Buffalo. Buffalo beat themselves.
Buffalo beat themselves. I would agree with that. But you have to be in a position to win.
Yep.
And they were that. And the thing was that Buffalo's defense was supposed to be better than what they played that game, and they were not. And that's just what it was. I agree. Yeah, Kurt Kane, but look, man, it just wasn't him. It was the fact that here's what I like too. We talk about Michael Parsons, but Diggs also has changed his game. Instead of just saying, I'm just going to be a ball hawk, he's now saying, I want to be the best all-around cornerback. So put me on the best guy, which is what we needed. We don't need the scheme of it per se as far as put me on the best guy, 3 for 33. Dude, that so goes Jefferson, so go the Vikes. If Jefferson has a bad game, the Vikes have a bad game. And they just can't figure it out with their running game. They can't set up. They use the pass to set up the run. So, yeah, man, that to me, that's where it is. So, great game. Again, many apologies to Cowboy faithful. I'm with you. We're going to win every game. No, I'm not going to say that. I can't say that. But from here on out,
the only tough game I could see us before that is Tennessee.
Tennessee's going to be a tough game, but I think it's about scheming and understanding what they do well and what we do better. We know Henry's going to run. We know this. They do that well, but what do we do better? And how can we limit? I won't say stop, but how can we limit, him running and that setting up the rest of that offense? Because our offense has to do better. Again, when Dak throws for over 40 times, we lose. He has a 6-13 record. And that's what it is. That's fine. He can – hey, you know what? Give him 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. Great. But if we can score 3 touchdowns or more, they lose. That's the game. Because I don't have any faith in their passing game. Like no one does. So after Henry is done, then what? So, that's kind of where I am. You keep the ball away, but we saw last week how this offense can use Pollard and Zeke. And as I have said before, Pollard is not an inside runner. He is not. And he showed that. He takes the ball inside and then he bounces it out. He does. He's a better pass catcher than Zeke is, which showed in that was that 68-yard pass that he got from Dak.
A dime, baby.
It was a dime, man. It was. I have to give it to him. It's a dime. It was a dime. But 22-25, I think it was like 256 or something like that, passing. That's where he needs to be. 25 on the passing, 40 rushing attempts. it's a perfect game for the team, not for Dak, but for the team. People are like, well, he had the perfect game. No. Didn't say that. The team played the perfect game. The team did. You have to let these guys run. That's the best. You have young linemen, and they don't do well in pass protection. We've seen that. So let them run. Let them go bully. Let them do that. Let them bully people. And now you're going to have Smith, the other Smith, back, right? So they say he's going to start.
I wouldn't.
That's what they're saying.
I know.
He was on the practice field. That's what they're saying.
I know.
He's supposed to start.
I know.
If he's available, Jerry said, if Tyron is available, then we're gonna go here. He's gonna play. That's what he said. So there you go. Should he play? I don't think he should, but
I think he should play, but not. I don't think he should take. Whatever. Go ahead.
I don't think he should either. But if we're talking about and evaluating that game, I do believe though that was the perfect game for the team. The team played the perfect game on all three phases. As I said, I love Turpin. I think he's a great returner. He had a bit of a flub there, but everyone's allowed one or two. And in that game, hey, it's 40-3, so whatever. But I like Turpin. I think he's great. Maher has been proving himself out and why he was picked over the other guy and why they let the other guy go. So yeah.
I mean, when a guy kicks a 60-yard field goal and it didn't count, you have to redo the whole thing, and then he nails it right down the middle. I mean, come on. Like this guy, dude, that's another thing. Cowboys are pulling on the right strings. Like it's like the kicker, like everyone's worried about our kicking game. Well, hell, that's been the most consistent thing in our season so far. Has been Brett. The only misses he had was at 59 yards. Just move it back a yard, you got 60, and he'd be perfect. But whatever the case may be, that's his only two misses at 59. And then another one was where who was that guy that went to that we left for Denver? What was his name? The defensive end.
About Anger? Not Anger.
No, the defensive end.
Gregory.
Everyone's like, "Oh, Cowboys are going to regret that one." Well, yes. We proved that was. I mean, Jerry made the right decision on that one. We didn't need him. We did not need him. That's another thing. Like, when have the Cowboys been successful on making these kind of moves? Like, I know it hurts that I know we're talking about Odell Beckham Jr. coming with and I'm with. I think we need Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even after that 40-point, and I'm still mad that Amari Cooper is gone and what he's doing with Brissett in Cleveland. I'm still upset about that. At the same time, he saved money. We can get. Like, we see where our team is, and at this time we're hitting at the right level. And now Jerry's like, we have money, we can go out and go do. And I know you want to save the money for next year or whatever, but you have a chance to win a Super Bowl this year. Go get Odell Beckham Jr. Just because he brings that Super Bowl presence, he brings that leader. I cannot believe I'm saying this. He brings that leadership.
He does now. Now he does.
And we're not asking him to be the number one guy. We're asking him to take some things off CeeDee Lamb, and like we need a big third down. Like he can get open. He can make life a lot easier for Dak with Tony Pollard, CeeDee Lamb, Dalton Schultz. I mean, even Michael Gallup, Noah Brown. So it's going to be a big week. So I just can't wait.
Sunshine's on the dogs. But look here, man. You and all the Tampa Bay fans should really hone that because, as of right now, I think you guys are still leading the South, but whatever.
They're going to lead the South. Atlanta sucks.
Probably.
Atlanta
can't get out of the way. Carolina is a dumpster fire, and New Orleans.
And New Orleans is making a quarterback cry because he lost his starting job because of injury. So
there it is. You got to fight in playing quarterback. So
you know what sucks? You know what sucks is we're going to play Tom Brady in Tampa Bay the first round of the playoffs. 4 versus 5. But you know what? I want that.
Yeah.
Because we have not beat Tom Brady all year. I mean, for his whole career, we have not beat him. What great way we go to Tampa Bay, beat Tom Brady for the first time, and send him to retirement.
We will see you in playoffs. Yeah, there you go. And old man Tom, I'm gonna tell you what, man. This is that first game.
It's not the same game.
It's not the same. It is not the same. You can say and lose, But big game, I'm telling you, this is not the same squad on both sides that we're playing. And so even if you get back your center, your tight end, that's as the young tight end that you have, I'm telling you, this is a different team. And I think they're starting to figure out this Minnesota game and the Chicago game were two games where they kind of figured out, okay, look, Dak does not need to throw all these times. The Green Bay game, he felt like he had to, and I guess they felt like he had to, especially coming off the bye. But now we're going to be rolling into the playoffs, hopefully with a good mindset and a good game set to say, look, we know what works, right? Ball control, good sound throws, and yeah, CD's not a 1. I would love to have Odell Beckham.
I don't know, man. That catch he made on the sideline looked like a 1 to me. that sideline catch, man.
I mean, then to what James said, yeah, everybody, hey, sun shines on the dogs, but every now and again, right? But the thing is that can you be consistent? And that's what a 1 is.
I think CD is getting more consistent lately.
He's getting more consistent, but
he's not dropping balls anymore.
Yeah,
I think he's better.
Yeah, we've said that before. Run the ball, absolutely.
I do think CD is actually at number 2, and I think taking Odell Beckham Jr. will alleviate a lot of that pressure off CD Lamb. He can just go back.
Absolutely.
So that's the only reason I do want Odell Beckham Jr.
Absolutely, and we're talking about paying him, but at this point we have over $20 million for this year. And he wants to get paid the same as, the number ones in the league, like the Jeffersons and whatnot, at $20 million a year. With the prorated, it would be $5 million for this year. That's how much we would pay him for his services for the rest of the year.
And Zeke's contract goes off the books next year.
And I mean, the fact that we saw Davis and what he was doing, and as much as I love Zeke, and people know this, I'm a Zeke lover, but here's the real deal. At the end of the day, if Davis can run in between the tackles, and you sign Pollard to a fairly decent contract, one that's not going to break the bank, but one that he's going to want. I'm saying probably 7 to 10 over 4. I think that's decent for a number 1 running back. Then yeah, definitely. You still have Davis on that rookie contract, and you have Odell, you can definitely pay him. So, you start to see that. And I think that's where we can go. Yeah, you take that contract off of Zeke's off. So, but this is the year, though. This is the year. This is the year to do it. This is the year to do it. Moving into this, next game for Thanksgiving, which I asked Game, I said, hey, man, a 4-day turnaround. How tough is that? I know it's tough, but how tough is that? And he's like, man, that's one of the hardest things to do because you don't have the recovery. And I definitely believe that and agree with that. And now there's reports coming out of the Star that a lot of the players, especially on the defensive side, have been getting sick. Now, it could be something where McCarthy's like, yeah, they're sick, so they can't, practice. I don't know, but, that's not a good sign. But I'm sure they're probably all going to be there, and they will probably all play. So,
I mean, here I read a thing. Michael Parsons listed as questionable tomorrow.
He did have that. Was it groin or ankle?
Knee and ankle.
No, that's knee and ankle.
But the report said they expect him to play, so it's not.
Yeah, he'll probably play.
And you know what? Real quick before we move on, that's one thing that did piss me off about that's one flaw I had about the Cowboys game. Why is our starter still freaking in that game in the fourth quarter? Like, why?
I tweeted that out. I was like, this doesn't make any sense to me. The game is obviously in hand. Take them out. This is not the time to do this.
Man, we had a perfect opportunity. We took care of business. Rest of the starters for Thursday. Like
for Thursday.
Opportunity. But
yeah, you got him in there. Gets hurt.
But yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, he will, and this is one thing that I've told people, before, is that as a player, you're going to be hurt the whole season. There's not one player that goes through a season who is not hurt. Now, that's different than injured, but you're going to be hurt. Something hurts, something ails you, you have a nagging this or a nagging that. You're going to be hurt. But I don't need you to be so hurt where it turns into an injury like this Michael Parsons thing, because this is a very, very important game. This is a big game. The Giants are starting to roll, and despite the loss, which was great, but you can still see Saquon can still run and can catch, so he can do different things. And they actually have a pretty good defense, right? It's not world beaters, but they are solid. So this is a game. Yes, we beat them before, but this is a game that we need to really take and be ready for. So, what's your thoughts on that, Trey?
Would I tell you I'm more nervous about tomorrow's game than I was the Minnesota game?
I think that's fair. I'm not as nervous.
Dude, ever since that Raider game last year, I'm not trusting this Cowboy team on Thanksgiving. We have lost 7 of the last 10 Thanksgiving Day. Our last one was Washington football team in 2018.
Yeah, it was that part that I kept saying, oh no, we've won Thanksgiving games. We've won Thanksgiving games. And my cousin pointed out and said, when? I said, man, like, the Red Rifle, he was, tossing them out there. And he's like, dude, are you kidding me? Are you talking about Jason Garrett? When Jason Garrett, I was like, yeah, he always played Thanksgiving games. Like, dude, what year was that? I was like, it was like recently. I was like, well, didn't Danucci win one or
no?
Or somebody had to, and we looked it up. You're right. 7 of the last 8.
10.
7 of the last 8. And we play them here. I just don't.
Here's my thing. This is, I know we said last week, this is put up or shut up time for the Cowboys. No, this is put up or shut up time for the Cowboys. Every week you're going to hear me say this, because
now this is the week.
That team we saw last Sunday is capable of winning the Super Bowl. It's the best team in the NFL. That team is going to win the Super Bowl.
Yes.
But how many times have we seen that in years past? We do it and then we lay an egg the next week, right?
Yeah.
Dak has a bad game. But I think if the Giants won against the Detroit Lions, I would feel more confident. Now that they lost, I feel like they don't want to lose 2 in a row, because I feel like their players think if we start losing, it's going to get in their mindset and they're going to start dropping, because they have a tough schedule coming up right behind us. They still got to face the Eagles twice. They got to face the Commanders again. They got to they got a tough schedule.
Yep.
Dallas is in a perfectly good driving seat, and this is what scares me. And this is what years past.
Yeah.
We have the next, 4 games. We can go 4-0. We can go 4-0. And I personally believe the Eagles are going to lose one of these next 2 games, whether it's to the Packers or to the Tennessee Titans. The Packers, I would not be shocked if the Packers beat the Eagles, mainly because they're getting a 10-day layoff, and so they get an extra day by football. Tennessee is coming to they have to face Tennessee. I think Tennessee is going to beat them. So I think, and say what you want to about the NFL, if it's scripted or not, but what better way for a Sunday afternoon 3:30 kickoff on Fox, where first is on the line on week 15, Christmas Eve on a Saturday night.
Yeah. What a great gift.
I say what you want to. But no, going back to this game, Cowboys have lost 7 of the last 10 Thanksgiving Day games. That has not looked good on Thanksgiving Day games.
Yeah.
The Giants are 7. They're weird 7-3, but at the same time, they're 7-3. They're a good football team. For me to feel confident, we have to hit them in the mouth and pull away from them, because the way the Giants like to win is keep it close, and then wait for you to make a mistake. Last week we saw the Giants make mistakes against the Detroit Lions, and so I still think Dallas wins this game. I don't think it's going to be a Minnesota Viking blowout.
No.
I'm just more scared about this, because say what you want to, that head coach for the New York Giants is probably the coach of the year. I don't care what their record's going to finish.
Wow.
What he's done for that team this year with nobody on that roster with Danny Dimes as your quarterback, and you have a 7-3 record and probably going to make the playoffs, you deserve Coach of the Year considerations. But the Thanksgiving Day game just get on my nerve. I don't know what it is. Like I just don't understand it. Like we suck. Like we used to, like back in the 90s, we used to love the thing Thanksgiving. Now no one's afraid to come to Dallas. And like they enjoy it. They embrace it. They're like, oh, the whole world's watching us. See what I can do on my prime. Like you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I still think Dallas pulls out the victory. But I will also say that this is a Dak statement game. Like Dak has to be like Dak has these good games, but then he lays an egg and doesn't have a consistently good. The Dak wants to be one of those top 8 quarterbacks right now in the NFL, which I still think he is. These next 4 weeks, you're going to have to prove it all the way to the Eagle game. And then when the Eagle game comes, all chips on the table, and here we go. But I think Dallas should win this game, but also thought that you'll have to get the Raiders. So
top 8 quarterback
right now in the NFL, yeah.
Gosh, I mean,
this year, yes.
Even with the injury, top 8, and I'm not even talking about Dak. I'm talking about Buffalo's quarterback, and I can't even.
Allen.
Yeah, Josh Allen. I mean, I'm looking at him. You know, obviously, Mahomes, Lamar Jackson.
There's 3.
Tua, Jalen Hurts. You can say what you want, but I still think he's
okay. Well, it's Tua. Yes, kind of switch spots with them. Does Tua do the same thing Dak does? Or if you give Dak all those weapons, like just all you got to do, like Tua doesn't throw anyone open either. Tua just throws the ball to Tyreek Hill and he gets all those yards after catches and all the track meet, like Waddle and all them. If you put Dak in that, you don't think he's putting up the same number or not better than Tua?
No.
Oh, okay. That's your opinion. I'm just saying you were wrong before.
No.
So you're the one apologizing.
No, and that's because I still think
put Tua on there. Aaron Rodgers isn't better than him this year. Tom Brady's not better than him this year. Russell Wilson's not better than him this year.
No. Would you put Jimmy G over him?
Nope.
That's interesting. I probably would put him if
Joe
he's
Burrow,
8. If he's 8, did you say Kyler Murray?
No, I said Joe Burrow.
Oh, yeah. I put Joe Burrow over him. I would put Jimmy G at 7 and Dak at 8 if I had to. But I mean, we're talking about now it's getting real close to that 8th spot, of the quarterbacks that we've called out and said, because there's at least 3 in the AFC that are better than him.
Yeah.
And there's at least 3 in the NFC that are better than him, maybe 4.
Oh my God, James. Can we block James?
Wait, you're tripping. Tom Brady is way better than him this year. He just has the best result. That's the whole point, game. He has to have results. The old man Tom is not getting the results, bro. So,
but not to make this a year show, but I am kind of scared Tampa Bay's starting to figure things out. I'm scared that they're starting to figure things out.
I still think though they're too far removed from that Super Bowl team, and I don't think they figure that out in time, or they just don't have the pieces to figure it out. They can beat, NFC South teams, but they can't beat anyone else outside of NFC South.
Okay, but yeah, but going back to the statement, I think this year alone, Dak. Well, I think Dak is a top 8 quarterback this year. I'm not saying whatever.
Yeah, no, just this year.
The way his things are lining up, I pick him over Jalen Hurts. I mean, I'm a hot take. I think he's better than Jalen Hurts. That's just me. If you watch the Eagles the last 2 games, Jalen Hurts. Everyone says he throws a great deep ball. No, he really doesn't. When they're behind, how many fourth quarter game winning drives has Jalen Hurts had? His whole
dude. You know what though? Here's the thing. That last game was Jalen Hurts.
He did not throw it.
He ran it in though.
I understand that, but at the same point,
and I don't like running quarterbacks. I don't like them because they get hurt. I love to watch them play. I wish we had them sometimes, but then I don't because they do get hurt. See, and here's this part. Yeah, but we beat the Cowboys. I don't care if it was week 1, which it was. The Cowboys in the NFC East. if I'm not mistaken. They are in the NFC East, which is better than the NFC South. So we can stop that argument there, because all of them have a better record than your division leading NFC South team. So
can I harp on that for a second?
Yeah, sure.
NFL does a lot of things right. NFL is the number one sports watched in the world. 40 million people are going to watch these Thanksgiving Day games. That said, this is one thing I agree with the NBA over the NFL and their playoff format. Division shouldn't matter. Like, if you're going to let division, then okay. Yeah, if you win division, you're in the playoffs, but that doesn't guarantee you a home playoff game.
Yes.
Because you have a 6-4 or 5-4, 6-4. 6-4?
You talking about Tampa?
No, 5 Washington. Anyway, they have a better record than Tampa. 4 teams have better records than Tampa Bay in our division, and we're not going to. I understand. Yeah, divisions need to matter. Okay, they're going to matter. Yeah, you're going to get in the playoffs, but you're not guaranteed a home playoff game. I'm sorry.
Absolutely,
I agree. It's simple fix. I don't know why the NBA or the NFL doesn't do this.
Well, I mean, it's scheduling, and we talk about this. Where you have a team that may play 3 times in 10 days. So, there it is, and it should. You can get in because you win your division, but yes, you should not get a home field advantage because you didn't earn that. You did not earn that at all. You have teams that were better, that played better, that played, different teams outside of the division, and they won. So, if you have 4 teams that are better than a lot of other teams, and you can look at AFC West is another one. They got to send somebody out of the AFC West.
Well, I'm sorry. I thought you said NFC West.
No.
AFC
I know you're 5-5.
Well,
I know you're 5-5.
AFC West, it's the Chiefs. They're going to win it.
Yeah, the Chiefs, they will. And I mean, again, we look around the division. I would say, and I know this is Cowboys cutting up, but I would say, man, the NFC West has also been a disappointment. Thought they would be better than they were, and they have not been. AFC North has been kind of trippy. Baltimore has come on, just sneakily, just been playing. But, if we go back to
Baltimore, the only team this year that went or be ahead in each game by double figures, by 10 points or more.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So, so when we talk about Dak, and I know people think I'm a Dak hater. I'm not necessarily a Dak hater, but I'm a realist when it comes to this thing as far as, look, dude, you win with him, not because of him. And that's the point.
Okay, so does the offense look better now with him or with Cooper Rush? Be honest. Be honest. Come on, dude.
I think it's the same.
No, it's not. Dude, we scored 40 points twice since Dak's been back. Come on.
It's the same.
Oh, God. Whatever.
I think it's the same.
I need to have another beer here in a minute. Go.
And you know why I say it's the same? It's because it's a more balanced offense. Because you can tell me that Dak is better, but Dak passed 46 times when they had the lead and still lost. So you can't tell me, oh, well, he's good. He's a good quarterback. If you have the lead going into the fourth quarter by 2 touchdowns, you should win that game. You should win that game.
You shouldn't have to, and your defense shouldn't allow whatever. Go. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I do, but I'm just saying Cooper Rush is not putting up no 40 points over the Minnesota Vikings. Come on,
okay,
man.
He doesn't put up 40 points, but I would argue he wouldn't lose.
Hell, I might argue if Cooper Rush is in the game against Chicago, we might lose that game.
You think we would lose the game if Cooper Rush was in there?
Dude, you see what Jalen Hurts in that run game did to it? Our defense couldn't stop a nosebleed that game.
You talking about Jalen Hurts or you talking about Chicago?
Or Fields.
Sorry, Chicago.
Fields, sorry. Justin Fields.
Well, but here's the thing about that Philly game. We actually were coming back. We scored 17 points. And because of that second quarter, that's why we did not do it, because that game is a lot closer than that score really tells you, because that second quarter is where we lost the game.
But at the same,
because in that second half they didn't score.
they scored 9 more points. But I'm not. But at the same time, we cut it to 3 points. And what did the Eagles do? They didn't throw the ball once, and they ran it down our throats. At some point, and Packers exposed that our run defense needed some help, and that they blew that game against the Packers. I don't care what you say. Yes, I know Dak Prescott threw 2 interceptions, but at the same time, those were early in the games, and we had a 14-point lead after he did that. The defense should hold. Okay. The defense, if they stop one run from AJ Dillon or Jones, Cowboys win that game. I'm just saying the defense had to take 80% of that blame. It wasn't all on Dak. Come on now.
It wasn't, but I mean, if you pass 3 straight times on 2-3 series,
I agree. And I agree. Like in overtime, it's 3rd and 3, and you're throwing the ball. If you're going to go on 4th down, you're not going to freaking throw the ball. Run the damn ball and see what you
run
get.
the ball.
And use
so I mean that to me, that's where I need the maturation of Dak to recognize this is not the right play. And if he's checking into a different play that's a pass play, then there's something wrong there. To say, oh, I'm seeing a coverage where, hey, I think I can pass into this. Well, you can't. It's 3rd down, 4th down, whatever. There's 3 yards, run the ball. You got 2 running backs that can essentially get you those 3 yards.
I agree. But I'm just saying, if Dak plays the way he did last Sunday, Dak, that could be a good elite, maybe not elite, but he could be a good top 5 quarterback in this league if he plays the way he did consistently. If that makes sense.
And here's the knock on that. Everyone that I've heard up here is, well, he's just dinking and dunking and look, that's what Tom Brady does. And then when he gets a shot, he takes the shot, but he dinks and he dunks, and he lets his players play. Right? He lets the players make the plays. But if all we're going to do is have 46 passes, we're not going to win on that. No. We're not going to win on 46 pass attempts.
But I will say I'll give my predictions after this week, tomorrow night's game. We'll see where the Cowboys are going to be in the playoffs. This will tell me a lot. This game tomorrow
night. Okay. So you're not predicting this game? Is that what you're saying?
No, I said the Cowboys are going to win this game.
Okay.
But I'm saying if they lose tomorrow, it's the same old Cowboy stuff each year. And it's the same thing, right? If the Cowboys win this game and they win 3, then yes, it's a Super Bowl year. You can start. Don't make your reservations to the Super Bowl, but this team is
no, because those playoffs. Yeah, because so they win. They go to Tennessee. They win. Then we have, and I know I'm missing a game in there, but I know this game, the Tennessee game, and like we said, the Philadelphia game, those are going to be the toughest games. And I still think the Commies game is going to be a tough game as well.
Well, it depends on where we stand in the standings, if we're playing for something or not. The Commandies are probably going to be playing for something. I think it's going to be between them and Seattle, who's going to get that 7th seed. Actually, no, New York might drop out. New York might drop out because they actually no, they will not drop out.
No,
they won't.
Commies will drop out before them
because the NFC sucks this year. Let's be straight up honest with ourselves.
I don't think they suck as much as people are saying.
Well, who's going to get that? Who's going to get that 7th seed then? I mean, look at the records. The Commanders are outside looking in at 8 at 6-4, and other than that, you have Green Bay at 4-7. You have the Saints at 4-7. You have the Bears who suck. You have, I mean, it's not that good. Like you tell me the Giants could lose the rest of their games. I'm not saying that with their tough schedule.
They could, but I think that's highly unlikely that they will lose every game after this one. But I mean, if we look at NFC West and you have, like we said, you have Seattle and you have the Niners. That's 2 teams there. And so the Niners will win the division. We can predict. And then you have Seattle. That'll be right there. I think Philly is going to win NFC East. They're just too far ahead. They've gotten too far ahead.
They're not too far ahead.
They're too far ahead. With their schedule especially, I think they're just too far ahead.
If we win the next 4, which are okay, listen to our schedule. Giants tomorrow, winnable.
Yes.
Colts Sunday night, winnable. With Matt Ryan throwing that ball, I saw what he did against Philadelphia. That sucked. That sucked. Matt Ryan.
Never good run. Never good running offense.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, I said winnable. I say we're going to win that game. I'm going to predict that game.
Winnable. All right.
Then the Houston Texans, they're playing for C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young.
Yeah.
In Jacksonville. And then we get that Philadelphia. Philadelphia has Green Bay on Sunday Night Football this Sunday.
Yeah.
In Tennessee.
Yeah.
They're going to lose one of those games. If Dallas runs the table and Eagles lose one of those games, which I predict they will, that's going to be for first place because we'll have a better division record and we'll have the tiebreaker because of that. Because we'll both be 1-1 against each other, and the Eagles have already lost 2 division games, and we've only lost 1 to the Eagles.
That's true.
So that's what I'm saying. It's not far fetched. We could win the division. I'm not saying we're going to. I'm just saying it's not out of realm of possibility that we are not.
Right, but we would have to run the table. I think Indy is not as bad as what's been said.
They're horrible, dude. Come on. Did you see that game? 16 points.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. And they came back, yes, and they barely won, yes.
Okay, can I talk about this for a second, too?
Sure.
I know that was I'm sorry. It's cow. Why is it when the Cowboys barely beat a bad team? Oh, they barely beat the Colts. They barely beat this team. But when the Eagles barely beat a bad team, oh, that's a good win. That's going to be a great. What's the difference? What's the difference?
That's a good point.
That's all I heard.
That's a good point.
Well, that's a good win for Philadelphia because they came back. Why is it a good win? Why? That's against a horrible team.
That's a good point. I think it goes back to, people not respecting the Cowboys as what they are, and feeling as though, like I said, if the Cowboys beat them, then they're fakes or they're not a good team, or whatever the case may be. And yeah, if Philly beats them, then hey, that was a tough, hard game, and Jeff Saturday has them playing hard and all this and all that, and Jalen Hurts should be MVP. Yes.
You're telling me Jalen Hurts should be MVP when he only has like 7 touchdown passes this year? I mean, come on. What are we doing? Patrick Mahomes is your MVP. I'm sorry.
Patty Mahomes is the MVP. Absolutely. I agree with that. Patty Mahomes is it. But
just how biased the media is towards Philly.
I think it's between Patty and Micah.
Micah's not getting one.
If anyone had a chance to win it from a defensive side, it is Micah Parsons.
The way Patrick Mahomes is having a hell of a year, and he doesn't have the same weapons as he did a couple of years ago. Like last game, he didn't have JJ. He didn't have his starting running back. He only had Travis Kelce.
I understand. But, again, when you look at what Micah Parsons has done, and, yes, with Dan Quinn, but still what he has been able to do, especially as a second-year player, and you have to account for him, and he has become the leader of the Dallas Cowboys. And, yeah, and here's the other thing, too. MVP is about a story. Right. It's not so much play anymore. It's about the story you can bring. And the stories between Patrick Mahomes and Michael Parsons, to me, that's what divides them. And so who has a better story? Is it Michael Parsons or is it Patrick Mahomes?
You asking me?
Huh?
You asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Micah has a good story. If he would have kept up his sacks like he did at the beginning of the year, he went through 2 or 3 games where he really wasn't, you know what I mean? Like against the Eagles.
He had to play in a different position.
Exactly. But he's not putting up the number. He didn't put up the number. But I think he's had 5 games with 2 sacks this year. Like if he's going to get a sack, he's going to get 2. He could have had 3 if he didn't let freaking Winchester. I don't know what he was doing. Like I guess he thought, Kirk Cousins threw the ball, and he's like, "Oh, where's the ball go?" Looking like he made fun of himself for it. But I think this year, Patrick Mahomes. People are tired of him already, but he's doing a lot better job this year than he did his MVP year, I believe. And he doesn't have as many weapons. That's the difference. I think it is. Now, Micah's going to get defensive MVP this year. If he doesn't, it's biased against the Cowboys. We all know that.
Yes.
But I think the MVP has become a quarterback award. Let's just be clear.
It has become a quarterback award. And do I think he's Lawrence Taylor? No, who was the last one to win the MVP on the defensive side, but gosh, man, he is something very, very special. Um, he is something very, very special. So I think you have to, give it to at least have that consideration, that conversation to put Micah Parsons there in there, right? So, moving forward with this game, it does scare me as well. Do we win? Yes, we do win. I will be faithful to my star, but it scares me for the reasons that you stated as well.
It scares me because it's a rivalry game too. Like you can throw micro books out the window. We saw what the Commanders did against the Eagles. It's a rivalry. It's NFC East, same record, but at the same time, I just don't trust Danny Dimes. I just don't. If we lose to Danny Dimes, I'm never calling us a Super Bowl contender again. That's how bad that's going to be.
I think you can, but it does. It hurts. It definitely hurts going forward. You obviously you have to win out, but the fact that we split with them, we'd have to win out with the Commies, and we'd have to win. We'd have to split with Philly, and we'd have to really come, and we need help. And that's the part that I hate, is that we would need help.
Well, Dak has not lost a division game in 2 years, so let's see what happens.
That's a misleading stat, but
we won last year, and he didn't play against Philly.
He wasn't on the field, but that's.
I'm just saying.
That's what I'm saying. That's.
I think Dak. I think also Dak's only lost twice to the New York Giants in his whole life. I'm just saying. Dak owns the NFC East, dude. Like, say what you want to, but he owns the NFC East. Now, granted, the NFC East has not been good lately. This is the first year they've all been good, let's be honest.
Since he's been in, yes. But the other thing that, we talk about history and statistics is that there has not been a repeat of an NFC champion for a very, very good while. So
5 the Eagles did it? They won like 5 straight or something like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, we will be setting a precedent. I won't say precedent, but we'll be, okay, this is something different where we've seen a different divisional champion in NFC East every year, which I think goes. Go ahead.
I was going to say, would it be hard pressed for me to say that I kind of hope we don't get the number 1 seed or don't win the division? Because then all the pressure will be on us, right? Like we go in as a wild card team, we'd be like, no one's expecting us to win a Super Bowl.
But you know what?
We do better when teams don't, like when people don't think we're going to do good.
And you know what? I have an issue with that because we should, as a team, you should want the pressure. To me, that's what builds great teams, right? When and it's like what Vince Lombardi said, hey, we're going to run this play. You know what the play is, but we're still going to run it, and we're still going to run it down your throat, and we're still going to, make yards on it or score on it. So it's like, look, what we're going to do. We do it anyway, and we're still going to win. And that's where I want the Cowboys to be in all 3 phases. I think on defense, we're pretty much there. Here's what upsets me too. Ndamukong Suh was available as a free agent, and we did not pursue him.
I'm glad we didn't pursue him. I don't think he's going to do much. I don't. What? I think we've been. I just don't. It's my personal belief. I was happy. A lot of people agree with me too that we didn't want that signing.
Oh. Who are these people, and why are they even Cowboys fans? Because to me that
they're Cowboy writers, actually. Yeah.
Oh, and therein lies the issue. You have Ndamukong Suh. Who
hasn't played all year, and he hasn't been worth.
And what has Odell done? But we want him to come in, and I'm gonna tell you something, man.
No,
this is no slight.
That is different.
No, this is no slight on any defensive player because I love defense. I play defense, but if you say, "Hey, stop the run and go after the quarterback," and that's your job, that's easier than saying, "Hey, here's the route tree, here's the plays. We're doing this, we're doing that." As a receiver, I'm saying, to me, that was a great signing that Philly had, that Philly did do and picked them up. So we have a run defense issue. We've
But
had
we just signed Haskins, baby.
So as we come up on the last 5 minutes, because I can't talk to you when you say stuff like this.
You gotta get the people what they want to hear, man. I mean,
They don't want to hear that. You would rather have Haskins over Sue? Haskins over Sue?
I'm not a big Sue guy. It's just me. I could be wrong, but I don't think it was.
I think you are. And when you know what, if he comes to town and he dominates, I'm gonna look right at you.
Please
I'm
do.
just gonna be.
I'll be apologizing.
Apologize.
Okay.
Thank you.
Here's the difference between the two.
James, that's what I just said.
Here's the difference between the two. We're not expecting Odell Beckham Jr. to be the number 1 wide receiver. Where Ndamukong Suh, they're expecting him to stop a whole pass rush. We just want Odell to, bull crap. As soon as the Eagles got throttled on the run game, they went the next day and got Ndamukong Suh. They're telling me that's not a statement saying, we expect you to stop the run game. No, we want Odell Beckham Jr. to come and take a little bit of get a little, 1 or 2 big plays here. We're not expecting a big lot out of him. We're just the pressure off him and bring that Super Bowl mentality to Dallas. That's the difference.
That's the same thing we want for Sue.
No.
Sue could come in.
No, because we couldn't stop the run. We couldn't stop a nosebleed through the run. I mean, come on. We can't stop a waterfall, whatever that's.
So you know what you do? You get one of the biggest, baddest tackles in the game, and you put him there.
If he's so big, okay. If he's so big and bad, why was he a free agent? Why was he a free agent?
Why is Beckham still a free agent?
Because he's coming off a torn ACL.
Dude, I don't care what you say, man. So
you know I'm right.
On this, I will not. Yo,
I'm right. People, I'm right on this.
No,
and you don't count because you're a Buccaneer and you're all best friends. But
that has nothing to do with it. I promise you, it doesn't. But you cannot sit here and tell me that I can sign a receiver who's coming off of 2 ACL injuries and who hasn't played all season, and he would have more impact than a defensive lineman that is big and bad, that can stuff up a hole, and that's all I would want him to do.
Okay, let's just wait till it pans out because we're running out of time. I don't know. America knows I'm right on this.
MG, glad that you're here. Dallas will not choke the playoffs.
Hey.
I will not accept that.
What's a choke in the playoffs? Is it not getting that divisional round?
Money,
or is it joining the NFC champion?
Money and age. What are you talking about for Sue? Or are you talking about for?
Sue's old, dude. Sue's old.
Sue is, man, stop it.
Sue is old.
Listen.
Of course, James is going to agree because he was in Tampa Bay helping them win a Super Bowl ring. I mean, come on.
Look, all I'm saying is this: when you have a player like that that's available, and you know you have an issue, you sign that man. We have the money. We can do it.
And we're getting Odell Beckham Jr., baby.
And we don't need to, and he doesn't have to be an every down lineman. He can be a first and second down lineman. And then take him out.
Oh my God.
But how much better would that line be? Man, you can say Sue is washed. You can say that, but he was making plays, my guy.
When?
Last week, he was making plays.
Oh, against a horrible Colts team, we made one good play. Okay. Woo.
Oh, my gosh. Hey, you know what? Sometimes it's just one. That prevents that 60-yard run. That's what I'm looking for.
The big kelp and Jonathan Taylor ran 50 yards down and whatever. So. Hey, but no, I think the Cowboys run game will get better when Anthony Barr comes back from injury. You get our safety help back. I think Dan Quinn. I trust Dan Quinn to shore up the run defense, and I think I don't think we needed Sue as much. I think we had a couple bad games against run. I think Dallas fixed it, and I think we're ready to roll. That's what I think.
I'm hoping Armstrong continues to play and gets better. I hope you're right with Barr, that he'll come back and be better and they just need to solidify that line and go for it. Giants have zero chance. Hey man, I love it.
I'm not saying that.
Zero chance. I love it, but yeah, I'm kind of with Trey on this. I'm nervous, but you know what? Let's go Cowboys. Let's go.
Yeah, I'll be happy with the 3-point win over the Giants, and everyone stays healthy.
Oh man, I'll be happy with a 1-point win as long as it's a win.
I hope we come back. I hope we're down 10 points in the fourth quarter. And we come back and win by 1 point.
No.
Win by 1 point, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's a good Dallas Cowboy win," because we all know the media is not going to say that.
The Cowboys cannot come from behind. We are not that type of team.
I'm being facetious here.
I know.
I
want to make sure people understand.
That's a great win. Oh, give me a break.
No, not at all. So we both predicting that New York is going to win.
No, we're not.
I mean, not New York. I'm sorry. Dallas is going to win, but we're a little scared. My bad. Just,
Do you think they're going to cover? 9-point cover. Do you think they're going to cover?
Ooh, 9 points?
9 points is the money line.
I would bet the under, but okay. I don't think it's going to be that. I don't think it's going to be that.
So
you know what?
Cowboys.
I think the sick bay deal. I think them being sick is actually just for them to have time off. That's what I think it is. Between Sunday and Thursday,
we're fixing to have 10 days off. There's no time for this. We're fixing to have a mini bye, baby.
Yeah, I understand that, but still, you played on Sunday and now you play on Thursday. I think that's what it is. Hey, let's go ahead and let's get into this Legend of the Star. Do you have one this week? Probably not.
Sure. I don't know if we've done him or not, but we're going to go ahead and go with this guy. Have you said Ken Norton yet?
I have, but that's a good one. I'll enjoy it.
Okay, how about this one?
You can say, wow, that's okay, James. Yeah.
I mean, how about this one? I got another one. It's right here in my notes. Hold on. Forgot his name. How about Rayfield Wright? Have you said him?
No. Rayfield Wright is a very good one. That's a very good one. That's a very good one.
I came prepared. I had two. See, I haven't had a day off today. I had half a day off.
I had to have a day off.
If I have half a day off.
Do you see where I am? No, for me it was Bob Bullet Hayes. That's my guy.
Okay.
I mean, just a speedster. I always say Saquon had like negative 30 total yards. Yeah, man, but it's just one of those things where you have a good game, have a bad game, have a good game, have a bad game. So you just got to watch out for it, you know. But I would definitely be glued to the TV. Everyone have a fantastic Thanksgiving. Thank you for joining us here on Cowboys Cutting Up. Jay Stoggs, Trey Collis, please be safe out there. Eat lots of turkey. And yes, the precious one. I'm telling you, man, that's a cute girl, man. But give thanks. We thank y'all so much again for helping us get to that over 1,000 subscribers. Make sure that you tell somebody about Big Game Entertainment and the things that are going on in Cowboys Cutting Up. Make sure you check us out Tuesdays as well for Big Game Sports Buzz, as well as the mini projects that are also definitely coming. Again, make sure that you like, subscribe, smash that bell. Have a great Thanksgiving. Eat plenty of turkey, ham, all the other stuff. No tofu. All right. You got anything, Trey? No.
Hook 'em horns, baby. Hook 'em.
Go Frogs.
Dude, that game. I was like, what is Sonny Dykes doing? I'm like, okay, it worked. Whatever. Go, buddy.